Everyone thinks joining one of Maryland's most exclusive country clubs just means writing a big fat check and waiting for that initiation day. Now, there's some real cost. That's the part that nobody tells you about. I'm talking about monthly fees, food minimums that quietly drain your account if you're not using them, special event costs, and even surprise assessments that can hit your wallet for tens of thousands of dollars with almost no warning. Here's the crazy part. The hidden costs actually tell you a lot about whether the house you're buying next to that club will be one of the smartest moves of your life or a money pit. If you are thinking about buying a home near places like Caves Valley, Baltimore Country Club, Columbia Country Club, or any of Maryland's top private clubs, you need to know this stuff before you sign a single document. Let's start with the number everyone asks about first. The initiation fee. In Maryland, this is where sticker shock hits the hardest. According to the data from private club trackers like Private IQ, the average initiation fee at private clubs in Bethesda sits around $121,000. Rockville is about $86,000. At the very top of the food chain, you've got Congressional Country Club in Bethesda, where top tier full golf memberships can push past the $200,000 mark, and they actually have multi-year wait lists. Caves Valley Golf Club in Owings Mills, one of the most prestigious in the state, has reported initiation fees starting around $100,000, with Forbes reporting that figure as high as $150,000. Baltimore Country Club, founded in 1898, and it's hosting the 2026 US Senior Amateurs on its East Course this year, sits in that same elite tier and also comes with that long golf wait list. Now, I've been selling real estate for over 20 years. I'm actually a member at one of the clubs I mentioned before, and I can tell you the initiation price is only the beginning. Here's why these fees have climbed so fast. According to a 2022 industry survey by Club Benchmarking, the median country club initiation fee jumped from $29,000 in 2019 to roughly $50,000 in 2022. That is a 72% increase. And think about when that happened. It was right around COVID. When the world shut down, what was the one thing you could still go out and do? Golf. And this was a major resurgence for golf everywhere. And you know who got the best deal out of it? Country clubs, because everyone wanted to be a member. In Maryland specifically, demand exploded because more high-income families are staying in the state instead of retiring to Florida. And when demand goes up for clubs with a limited membership, fees climb fast. Now let's move past the upfront initiation fee because the monthly math is what really starts to add up. So real quick before I dive into that, I want to tell you that I am pro country club. My family and I love our club, the people we've met, and the family-focused activities we now enjoy. I'm not here to tell you to stay away or don't join. It's actually much the opposite. My job is to keep you in the know, so when you make that decision, you make that decision informed and ready. And that is the facts. So let's jump in and let me share what you need to know before you make that decision. Once you've written that initiation check, you're in the door. But it's also when the true cost of club membership begins. Annual dues at Maryland's top clubs generally run between $10,000 and $25,000 a year, depending on the club and your membership level. Baltimore Magazine has reported that Caves Valley annual dues for roughly 550 members sits comfortably in the tens of thousands range. So that should give you at least an idea. Now let's do some simple math on a typical high-end Maryland club. If you're paying about $18,000 a year in dues, that's about $1,500 each month before you eat, drink, or even swing a club. Golf, fitness, and other amenities are now yours to use, but you need to use them if you want to get your money's worth. It's like joining a gym and never going. The best example of that is any club with a food and beverage minimum. Some Maryland clubs require you to spend a set amount in the clubhouse restaurant every month. These minimums can range from $50 for some of the smaller clubs to several $100s a month, or even a few thousand in some of the elite clubs. The kicker here is it's use it or lose it. Just like if you pay your gym membership and don't go, you still have to pay the membership even when you don't use the equipment. The goal of these top clubs is not to get into members' bank accounts, it's to get members into the facilities. Many have family nights, game nights, theme nights. They encourage you to get out and spend more time at the club. They create the rules for using the club to promote the connections you'll make being there. And therefore, you get more out of your membership. When you use it, you enjoy it more. For golf members, just know that it's not 100% free. If you walk, yes, it's free in most clubs. But if you take a cart, that could run $20 or $30 every round. Bag storage can also run you a couple $100s a year. There can be locker fees if you choose to have a locker on site, tournament entry fees, and even a hole-in-one fee. Okay, well, the hole-in-one fee is actually really cool. At my club, anytime someone gets a hole-in-one, everyone at the bar gets a free drink. And the ace, who is out there shooting, gets a very cool shadow box commemorating their shot, all for $2 per golf member. Now, I don't have a shadow box with a hole-in-one, but I've had a few free drinks at the bar. When you add it all up together, a family at one of these top Maryland clubs can easily spend $25,000 to $50,000 a year on that lifestyle. If you're using the facilities, enjoying the food, playing golf, going to social events, this can be money well spent. If you aren't using it, that's real money coming out of your account. Outside of the argument that you need to use the club to make the cost justified, we need to talk about the one fee that catches most new members completely off guard, and this one can hurt the most. Here's where it gets serious. Capital assessments. A capital assessment is a special charge clubs use to pay for major projects such as a new clubhouse or course renovation. Maybe they're updating the pool complex or a major infrastructure upgrade. These can hit members for anywhere from a few $1,000s to $20,000 or $30,000 at a single time with very little notice. Now, it's very little notice to the new members because they aren't in the meetings and the discussions every single day talking about what the plan is. So these fees can feel completely out of the blue. Think about this for a second. Baltimore Country Club in Lutherville, Timonium is hosting the 2026 U.S. Senior Amateur from late August to early September, followed by the 2028 Western Amateur and the 2031 U.S. Women's Amateur. Hosting championships like this requires serious investment in the course, the conditioning, the clubhouse upgrades, the practice facilities. For some clubs, that could mean major assessments that could be on the horizon. Now, BCC is an extremely well club, and the financial management has been superb. Not all clubs have that, so you will see some assessments depending on the club. If you're joining a Maryland Country Club, here are the questions you absolutely have to ask before you sign. What capital projects are planned for the next 3 to 5 years? In fact, great clubs like BCC will actually have 20 or 25-year projected horizons. Also, what's the club assessment history over the last 10 years? You want to know what that looked like. How are those assessments funded? And are you protected from that during your first year? I can't tell you how many clients I've talked to who skip this conversation, never ask the questions. They join their new club, they're very happy, and 6 months in, they get an $8,000 special assessment. That is not a fun day. So we've covered the initiation fees that can reach $150,000 or even $200,000, annual dues of $20,000 to $50,000, food minimums that you pay whether you eat there or not, and surprise capital assessments that you need to be prepared for. And look, I'm not trying to scare anybody out of joining a club. I already said that. These are incredible places, but knowing the real cost helps you make a smart decision. I've also learned in my time, well-run clubs increase property values and build you equity over time. However, The opposite is also true. The club you choose and the home you buy near it can either be the best investment decision of your life or a financial mistake that you're gonna regret for years. And in the next few minutes, I'm gonna show you exactly how to tell the difference. Real quick, if you're planning a move in Maryland this year, you don't have to guess where the best pockets are. I've taken 20 years of my team's boots on the ground data and packed it into our 2026 Maryland relocation playbook. It doesn't just list the counties, it maps out the school zones that hold their value, the luxury corridors we're seeing the most growth, and the specific neighborhoods that stay off the public radar. It's the ultimate homebuyer's shortcut, and that's going to save you dozens of hours on Google overload. The link is in the description. Grab your copy, it's absolutely free. I want you to have the data to drive all the numbers so you can make the best decision for your family. This is my favorite part about this discussion because this is where country club costs start to look like an investment rather than an expense. Homes inside or directly adjacent to the top golf clubs tend to command serious premiums over the average home in the same county. According to NAR, National Association of Realtors, and multiple luxury real estate studies, homes with golf course frontage in luxury markets have seen price premiums from 15 to 30% compared to similar homes without those proximity or views. It's like a waterfront home compared to a non-waterfront home. Broader industry data puts golf course community home values around 15 to 30% higher on average, while some other studies say it's more modest premiums like 7 or 10%. Now, why the wide range? Well, it comes down to one thing, the prestige of the club. The higher a club's ranking and exclusivity, the larger the premium. Better run clubs demand higher premiums. So let me bring this home here in Maryland. In Owings Mills, homes surrounding Caves Valley, home to the BMW Open, sell really well. And I'm talking into the multi-millions. One on Blendon Road right now just sold north of $3 million, and another on John Carroll Road just listed for $3.9 million. In Roland Park in Guilford, neighborhoods with deep ties to Baltimore Country Club's Roland Park Clubhouse start between 1.2 and 2 million, with the top tier renovated estates pushing the $2.5 to $4 million mark. Over in Chevy Chase, home to Columbia Country Club and the legendary Chevy Chase Club, home values regularly cross $2 million, and some of the most exclusive streets push well past the $4 million mark. Here's the kicker. These values held up during every recent market shift. According to the Baltimore Banner, Maryland property values rose by an average of 12.7% in the most recent assessment cycle, with Howard County residential values climbing 16.8%. Now think about this. Howard County is home to two top private golf communities, Cattail Creek Country Club and Hobbits Glen. And those areas posted one of the strongest appreciation rates in the state. Over in Montgomery County, if you're looking at Columbia Country Club and Chevy Chase, you're seeing those 2 million plus home values continue to climb. Country club adjacent real estate didn't just hold value, it actually led the growth. So while the membership cost may feel steep at first, the real estate around these clubs has historically been one of the most resilient investments in Maryland. That brings us to the final question, is it really worth it? After 20 plus years of watching these deals happen and being a country club member myself, the answer comes down to how you use it. If you join a Maryland country club and you actually live the lifestyle, meaning you golf or play tennis, your kids swim, or on the summer team, you go to all the holiday dinners and events at the clubhouse, you use it for small business networking, the return is enormous. I cannot stress that enough, how great that is. Now, You're buying time, relationships, and a place where your whole family feels at home. Now, those relationships often turn into business deals or college recommendations or multi-generational wealth connections, and you can't just find those anywhere. That's why this is so attractive. But if you join because you feel like you're supposed to, and you end up using the club 3 times a year, the math gets brutal fast. $40,000 to $50,000 a year for a handful of dinners is not a good deal. Now, here's how I tell my clients to think about everything. Compare your total annual club spend to what you would have to pay if you golfed public courses, you joined a swim club, you had your tennis instruction, dining out, holiday events, hosting space, all that stuff. When you stack it all up, honestly, a top-tier club usually wins for active families. Then it's time to layer on the real estate premium. You're building that in your home. Well-located golf course homes often sell faster than comparable non-golf homes when it's time for you to move. So not only will you command more money by living near the golf course, you will also sell faster. Remember the big picture here. Maryland sits at one of the best locations on the East Coast. Yeah, I know I'm biased, but you get all 4 seasons, great schools, close access to both DC and Baltimore, and home prices that are still a fraction of New York or Northern Virginia luxury markets. Add in top country club lifestyle, and you've got a formula that's hard to beat anywhere in the country. A home near a premier Maryland country club is more than just a real estate play. It's a lifestyle investment. But in 2026 market, where these homes are regularly crossing the $2 or $3 million mark, you can't afford to guess on the club's financial health or the neighborhood's long-term appreciation. My team and I work these luxury corridors every single day. We know which clubs are well-funded and well-run, which neighborhoods are trending up, and where the off-market opportunities are hiding. Hint, I actually know 2 different people in Caves Valley that are thinking about selling in the next year. Just throwing that out there. If you're ready to move into a top Maryland club community, here is your game plan. Number 1, go to youtubenick.com right now. Book a 15-minute strategy call right on my calendar. We'll look at your goals, your budget, and I'll help you narrow down which club actually fits your lifestyle. Number 2, download the 2026 Maryland Relocation Playbook. I've already mapped out the luxury school zones, the high growth corridors, everything surrounding these clubs so you can move with 100% confidence. Whether you want to be near Caves Valley, Congressional, or BCC, reach out. We get calls and texts every day from people looking to secure their spot in these exclusive areas. And I gotta tell you, I absolutely love it. I love when somebody just like you watching these videos picks up the phone, hits the email, or jumps on my calendar. All the info is in the description below. Grab the playbook, book the call, and let's get you into the right club. I'll see you on the next one, but before you head out, don't miss my next video. I'm ranking the 5 most exclusive suburbs near Baltimore, and I guarantee at least 2 of them are probably gonna surprise you. Click on the link right here to watch, and I will see you on the next video.